Joining me in the studio today are a group of young people who've taken on a really, really interesting project. And it's all about a documentary being prepared locally about unemployment. And I'm joined by Brook, Roy and Ben, who are going to tell us a little bit about it. Roy, we might start with you. What is this whole project? I mean, where did it come from and where's it heading?
Well, we've all experienced unemployment ourselves, and we know how that's affected us. We thought we know it's a problem that's affecting Gippsland. So originally the premise was about unemployment in Gippsland, but now it's expanded to being about unemployment in general.
What you try to do is get people to come to you and tell you their story. Is that the way it's going to work?
Yes, exactly. We've already successfully interviewed 2 people. One of them was Ben, and we've been getting a few more expressions of interest, and so far things are going smoothly.
Brooke, tell me about the technical aspects. You've got cameras, you've got mixers. What other gear do you have, or do you just film it all and then go into an editing suite? How does that work?
Well, we do have all the equipment. Our technician was going to be here today, but he's quite busy. Basically, what I'm trying to do is just find locations, find people who wants to be involved in this project.
Well, let's go across the other side of the room. Ben, you've come along and been interviewed. Was that a daunting sort of subject to get involved in? Is filming new to you?
Filming is not new to me at all, but it was quite daunting sharing my story with the masses, so to speak. I have no idea how many people will be watching this, but we've got close to 7,000 people following the story on the Facebook Win News story. So it is a little daunting, but it's a lot of fun too, and I think it's a great cause.
So you're using a camera which, in fact, is very similar to what I've got at home. Is it technologically advanced, or are you finding it pretty easy to use?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to use. We've got a Canon 700D. We've got a 55mm lens. And we got a 255mm lens. 250mm. I didn't even know you could record film on it until the other day.
Yeah, and the beautiful part is it's in high definition, so you get a good result. So was that your first exposure in filming and documentaries?
Definitely my first exposure in documentaries, but I do a little bit of extras work with RPR Talent, so I've been on TV a few times.
So that's an interesting point, Roy. Can I take you up on that? You've had a bit of coverage on television, I believe, for the project?
Yes, we were recently interviewed by Win News.
And how did that go?
It went really well, considering we had about 20 minutes to prepare.
I know how daunting that is. I've got a great face for radio, and I'm very comfortable sitting in this chair, but when the camera comes on, I'm not so keen.
Yeah, that's what it's like for a lot of people. Some of the participants at Barefoot were actually saying that they were glad that they weren't there when they showed up.
So what's the whole idea? You want more people to come along and tell their story? Is that the overall aim?
Yes, but we also want to interview local politicians to see how they're planning to alleviate the problem. We want to try and get in touch with people with a background in economy, police, even celebrities if they want to share their stories, and even people who have a completely different point of view to us so that we can show different sides of the spectrum. Because we have had people comment on the video saying that they think people who are long-term unemployed are just a bunch of dole bludgers, just a bunch of slackers, and we're like, well, we've invited them to come express their opinion on camera.
And if people have a different opinion, you're quite happy to include that in your video?
Yes, definitely.
So roughly how long does each one go for when you broadcast them, broadcast them on the internet?
We haven't put them on the internet yet.
No, but when you do, are they going to be 10 minutes or 5 minutes? Or?
We have 8 episodes,
right,
which each are about a different theme relating to unemployment. Originally, the plan was for them to be about 3 to 4 minutes each, but depending on how things go, we might have them a bit longer, about 7 to 8 minutes, or maybe we'll have just more episodes in general.
What vehicle are you using to get it out there? Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube? Or what are you doing?
We're aiming to get it on video streaming websites such as YouTube, like you mentioned, or we also want to try and get it into film festivals as well.
From what I'm listening to this morning, it's getting bigger as we go along.
Yes, indeed. It's quite scary, actually.
And who's putting up the finance for the making of the film?
It's pretty low budget,
right.
Actually. We're just doing what we can.
No budget.
So if people would like to get involved in the project, you've got an email address. Would you like me to give that out, or have you got it in your top of mind there at the moment?
Yes, please.
jakebpttc@gmail.com.
Yes, that's correct.
And you need people to respond to that as quickly as you can, because you're trying to get all this filming done and get the whole thing happening. Ben, what was it like to you've come into it as a participant in the filming, but now you're involved behind the scenes as well. Is that a sort of an exciting concept that you would like to take further as perhaps a career in the future?
Absolutely. I mean, it's something I kind of fell into by accident, to be honest. I don't think anyone was preparing for me to do as much work as I have done at the start. I just got so excited and couldn't help myself.
So it's just grown from there?
Yeah, absolutely.
I like the sound of that. Brook, have we missed anything that you would like to tell people about, or have we sort of covered a lot of the issues you're interested in?
Basically have, but I guess I should talk about how it began.
Yes, please.
Well, a few years back, I wanted to be able to start a media group, but that right now we just call a creative media group. So we could do games, animation, movies, anything to do with anything creative. Basically, I approached Scott at Barefoot Pathways about doing this project.
So you're starting on that road to developing those things.
Yes.
And so Barefoot Pathways has put up a little tiny bit of funding. I'm guessing like you had to buy the camera for a start.
Or, Ben got
actually, the camera
us.
we were planning to use was malfunctioning, and
Okay.
so I brought in a camera that I bought for my girlfriend about a year ago.
Right.
So that's on loan at the moment.
Okay.
Everything, all the equipment we're using has been lent to us by generous people. I believe the microphone is actually Jake's, a previous participant.
Right. Who's the originator of the email address, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a pretty exciting project. If people would like to know more, we've got a phone number here, 0490 447 540. Is that the best place for people to start, either that or the email address?
The email first.
Right. Okay. So I'll give that out again, jakebpttc@gmail.com. And failing that, we could always use the phone number. But often those people are much more inclined to use a transmission service other than talking to people in the first instance to get them involved. So we'd encourage them to get onto that Gmail address and give you the info.
Yep.
Guys, it's been great talking to you. Thanks for coming in and telling us all about it. I wish you luck with it, and I can't wait. I spend a fair bit of time on YouTube. I can't wait to see the result of the things you've been putting together, and good luck with it in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Vic.